Hey guys, it's Maddie here from DCLblogger.com. In this video, I'm going to go through some, price discovery and a bit of an analysis on last week's trading for Gods Unchained. It's been getting all my attention just because the volume has been nuts, and there's been a lot of interesting, price discovery movements, and people are kind of figuring out, including me, how to actually play the market. It's really interesting to see this develop because it's a bit different to other NFT projects. In the sense that people are not just buying them to collect them, right? Other NFT projects, what happens is during the pre-sale, people buy the tokens or the rare cards, the rare items, rare cars, whatever they are, and there's still about a year or two that needs to go into developing the game. So people are literally just, all they have is these tokens that represent digital items, and the only thing they can do is buy and sell them to each other. But in this case, in Gods Unchained case, you can buy and sell the cards with each other, but people are buying the cards to also play in the in the game, right? So there's a utility for the cards or the items, and there's also the collectible kind of appeal to it. So it's very interesting to see this type of market develop because people aren't just buying it to hold on to it or sell it again. People are actually buying it to use. And what I've noticed is the biggest movers are some legendary cards, and we all probably know. I've filtered this by legendary, and this is Token Trove, which is an amazing website. It gives us some really good information. And some of the biggest movers have been the end legendary cards. We all know, where is it? Oh my god, 0.1947 Ethereum. That's crazy. Well, let me just filter this by meteorite, and we can look at, so Jason, this thing has been going bonkers. It pretty much started around 0.15, I think, or 0.2, and I bought a ton of them at 0.2 just because I don't know, I just saw the trend move upwards, and it continued to move upwards. Now it's like 0.3 and people are still buying, and you can see that at the tail end of that there is still some volume. And that's what I like to see. I like to see volume, so that kind of confirms that people are still buying. There are some cheaper ones, obviously, at 0.05 Ethereum. But if you look at this other really good website, which is now cardsunchained.com, it ranks the cards in order of them being used in the game. So I've got two pages open here. One of them has been the last 1 day's movement, and this is the last 7 days movements. And you can see there's a lot of difference here. The 1 day actually gives you a lot more information as to what's happening right now, and it kind of reflects on Token Trove in the sense of the card prices. So for example, you can see here the Sky River is moving up quite a lot, right? So you go here, where's the Sky River? So it's moving up in terms of utility in game. People are actually using it more, and it kind of reflects in the last day that people are actually buying the shit out of it. 16 were bought at 0.1 Ethereum, and one just bought about a few hours ago at 0.1527 Ethereum. So, 0.15, yeah, Ethereum. So it's interesting to see that the legendaries that are kind of being used the most in game are actually going up the most in value. This one has moved quite a lot. Avatar of War. Pretty consistent growth, and this graph is so cool. It's kind of like tokens. I remember it's kind of like looking at different digital tokens as you used to, like different cryptocurrencies. Each one kind of goes up at a different pace. There's some cheaper ones you can buy, like commons, and you can hold them for a long time. But here, these ones don't have much supply, and they're being used in game. They're more promising, they're more talked about, and these guys are starting to go up a lot more in value. Avatar of Magic is, honestly, this one, it wasn't 0.1947 before I made this video. I think someone just recently bought, whoa, 30. Someone bought 30 of them at 0.15. That is nuts. All right, I totally missed that. So the next one, the next cheapest one is 0.1947. I think that the 0.1495 is the average of the 30 that were recently bought. So, I mean, he could have bought it from 0.12 to 0.18. So the question is, will people continue to buy at these prices? Because sometimes what happens, and I think this has happened with the promo cards, and I'm going to go through them over here, is that these were pretty hot. as soon as the market opened. A lot of people were buying them at 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 0.1. Oh, sorry, 1 Ethereum. I bought about 9 of them between 0.8 and 1 Ethereum. But growth since the last few days has been slow, 1.2 to 1.3. And it's probably because people aren't really using them in-game and people are just buying them for, I guess, the novelty value of owning a Chimera, which is pretty cool because if you get 5 of them, I think you can merge them into a diamond, and that would be pretty damn awesome. The question is how many people will merge them into diamonds, because if there's like 20 or 30 diamond blessed chimeras, then there's quite a lot of supply of diamonds. So who knows how the value is going to be, or if there's only 1 diamond in blessed chimera, that's probably going to be extremely valuable. So the promo cards are also very interesting. Obviously, lights bidding, you would have got this if you had bid during the auction for the first mythic card, which was such an easy thing to do. You didn't have to win the auction, you just had to bid. And if you placed multiple bids, for example, if you bid once and you got outbid, and then you bid a second time, you would have got multiple lights bidding. So I think I talked to someone on the Discord, and they had 8 of these cards literally from bidding on that auction. That's freaking 80 Ethereum at a bare minimum, or say 60 Ethereum if you want to be very conservative. But these have been selling for about 10 to 11 Ethereum, or 10 to 12, more on OpenSea. But here we can see the graph, and only 1 has actually been sold. Although it's awesome to own these, you can't really say that if you own 5 of them, you can't really say the value of them is about 50 Ethereum, just because the price movement, like there's not much price discovery and the liquidity isn't there. Like, how long are you going to list it for 17 Ethereum? Like, you got to come down to 12 or 11 or 10 until someone bites, right? Now compare that to the legendaries that are kind of moving real quick at these prices, and they're cheaper, they're more affordable for newer investors. 10 Ethereum is a big bet, and especially I don't think many people are even using them in the game. So with promo cards, it's also interesting. I haven't really been paying much attention to the first Phoenix, but I do know that if you can grab them under 3 Ethereum, probably closer to 2, it's a pretty good buy considering there's not many listed. Actually, we can come over here, and this is a really cool thing about cardsunchained.com, is that they list the prices next to each other, and that's so awesome to see. You can kind of see the price difference. I believe, I don't know which one of these is the actual Gods Unchained market. I think it could be this one, like the Immutable app. This one's Token Trove, this one's OpenSea, obviously. But you can see the differences. I'm not going to pay much attention here, but you can see Token Trove, the cheapest for Avatar of War is 0.26 on Token Trove. Cheapest one is 0.5 on OpenSea. So what do? You buy them on Token Trove. Alright, so that's that. And I think another one that I've been paying a lot of attention to is this, the rare chests, or the chests in general. They've gone up quite a lot. There's the legendary chest, and the Genesis rare chest. Legendary chests are going up in value. I thought that they should go down in value more to the 0.6 mark, but considering how high and how many legendaries are moving up to, who knows if they're going to hit 1 Ethereum soon. Maybe in a month's time you might see some going for 1 Ethereum. But these have been moving up quite a lot. They were 0.83 yesterday, and I was considering buying some, but someone came in and bought a ton, maybe bought 5 or 6, and bumped the price up. And it's also, again, it's interesting to see this, and I kind of see this as and it's more clearer on these. If I were to click, let's just click the cheap ones, but I kind of see this graph and the buy or sell orders as like how you would an order book. You have a lot at 0.05, it's kind of like a sell wall, but as soon as you get past the 0.05, 0.8, sorry, where am I? So 5, 6, 7. Okay, so this is pretty consistent actually. But if you go to some of the others, for example, let's go to Hercules. I actually bought about 10 of these just recently. Where is Hercules? There it is. So I bought about 10 of them recently at about 0.1 Ethereum. But if you just buy another like 3 pages worth, it suddenly goes from 0.12 to about 0.17 in a matter of 5 buys and sells, or maybe 10. So if you can, I think that's what's happened to the other cards, is that many people were listing them at cheap, and someone just bought a lot of them up at that cheap price, and suddenly the next couple of pages bumped the price up significantly. So you can get the last 15 at about a 0.14, 0.13 average, and suddenly if you buy all them, you'd probably be looking at a 0.17 price reflecting on this card. And I think the same has happened to many other ones. But yeah, guys, it's been very interesting watching this. Again, I'm still figuring out what the play is here. Should we be holding these longer? Should we be actively trading these? It seems like because people aren't buying and selling these, people are actually buying and using them in the game. There's actually a utility for this. It's really cool to see. It's one of the very rare projects in the NFT area that people are actually using the cards. And I guess you can compare it to Decentraland. You can see quite a lot of sales over the last few days. This is just for single parcels, selling for about a few $100 each. But for the estates, which are multiple parcels, you can see they've been going for thousands of dollars, some even 16K. And over the last 24 hours only, or the last 48 hours, it's been about 30 to 40K, or about 20K in sales. But back in the day when this released, everyone was just buying and selling digital land, right? Because that's all you could do. You couldn't build on your land. The builder wasn't out. You couldn't deploy on your land. The explorer wasn't out. But now people are actually building stuff. You can see there's an apartment complex. There is a villa. There's some cool things people are experimenting with. You have games releasing, for example. Battle Races are releasing their game on Decentraland. So all of these places need a land. So now, although the liquidity has dried up and not many people are buying and selling, people are actually buying the larger or more. People are just buying stuff to actually hold and build on now. So the utility is becoming a thing in Decentraland as well. It's just interesting to see from, I guess, a more analytical and statistical perspective that the utility for this is being like using the marketplace and then literally correlating it with the utility of the cards over here, that people are actually using it more in game to see that it increase in their decks. Shows that people are actually buying it to use it in the game. And obviously there are people that are buying it to hold and sell at a later time. But yeah, there's a question to buy these and hold for a while, or should you flip them as soon as a couple of days worth of profit? Like a lot of these I bought pretty cheap. I made this graph a few days ago, and you can see all of these legendaries I actually bought at, this is a conservative price, but I bought it around this price. So Jason, I bought it about 0.15 to 0.18, I think. The Harvester, 0.06, 0.07. And now, if you go to buy the same cards, where is the Harvester? It's 0.14. It's pretty much doubled, in fact, even more. So should I be selling them or should I just hold them because they're increasing at such a crazy rate? My initial thing was to buy and sell real quick, but I guess I'm going to be holding them. So that's it, guys. Just a little bit of information on what I've learned about the market. If you've learned something that you'd like to share, please do in the comments or YouTube. I would like to continue making these videos on price analysis for Gods Unchained, as I do for Decentraland and a couple of, well, I don't do it for any other projects actually. I literally have been doing it just for Decentraland, but since I've been trading pretty actively on Token Trove, I think I've spent about 40 to 50 Ethereum buying and selling. It's just an interesting marketplace, and I love different marketplaces because instead of buying and selling physical things and selling stuff on eBay, you're literally just clicking buttons and buying and selling and increasing your net worth, which is so exciting for me because that's really what I'm interested in, and obviously seeing these games grow. So that's it, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think, and follow me on Twitter at DCLblogger, twitter.com/DCLblogger. Talk to you guys soon.